Bro, liking guys that look like girls is 10 times more straight than just liking girls in general, okay?
Like I've said before, a lot of them look more like women than a lot of women do.
I'm tired of telling people liking femboys is not gay.
They style to look like girls, so it's the same as liking girls.
You're bi.
When I was a sophomore in high school, I had a chemistry teacher who always used to say, "Denial is a river in Africa and you're swimming in it."
Denial is a river in Egypt. Your husband is gay.
And I think that expression perfectly applies to today's video topic, which is femboys and the straight men who love them. As we're going to see today from the videos we're going to watch, there are quite a few men that do so many mental gymnastics to explain how them liking femboys doesn't make them non-heterosexual, and some of them even say that liking femboys is even straighter than liking biological women. What's up guys, my name is Dro Itachi and thank you so much for joining me. First things first, before we get into this video, if you like content like this, I kindly ask that you like and subscribe for more, as it greatly helps my channel grow. So what is a femboy? Before I started doing research for this video, I thought a femboy was just a dude that was, kind of feminine, had some sugar in his tank, was a little bit sweet. But no, a femboy is a guy that often to the unsuspecting eye looks like a woman because they tend to be very pretty, wear makeup, wear women's hairstyles, kind of dress up in that anime e-girl-like style, and pose like women in photos. And when they add all that together, they oftentimes are indistinguishable from cisgendered women. And these men are not trans. They identify as men. They just like being perceived as women. Let's hear from some of these guys themselves who have come out and said they love femboys and who have said that them liking femboys doesn't invalidate their straightness.
Bro, liking guys that look like girls is 10 times more straight than just liking girls in general, okay? And hear me out. Like, I'm a straight dude, right? Like, liking girls is easy because that's like the default setting in life. Like, it's like, bro, that's on tutorial mode. But like liking a guy because they look like a girl, you have to be so tapped in, you have to be so locked to focus on their feminine features, okay? And like, it makes you more straight because, bro, I'm not attracted to like them being a dude, right? Like, I'm attracted because they got the soft features, like they got the cute eyes, pretty face, but they just have like you gotta like focus on what's in front of you. Like, I'm not gonna pull down their pants and just start slopping on that shit, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, liking guys is actually just liking guys that look like girls specifically. Like, I'm talking about like 10 out of 10 femboy is just more straight than liking girls in general.
The way he was smiling and laughing, it kind of made me feel like he's trolling. But my thing is, if you are looking at these people and you don't know that these are men, okay, sure, the argument could be made that you're still straight because you don't know. But once you have the knowledge that these are indeed not women and your ding-a-ling still rises for them, I'm sorry, bro, but I don't think you're heterosexual anymore.
Here's something that's super embarrassing to admit, but as a straight guy, when I'm traveling, I'll always download Tinder and like get to a new city, do some swipes and see what's up. But Tinder's super slow, and sometimes I'm like really in the mood. And so depending on the city, I'll download Grindr and just look for like a femboy.
Here's the thing, a real straight man is not going to mess with a guy just because women are not available. That's not how this works. It's not like, oh, I prefer women, but if they're not available, I'm just gonna go to a guy that looks like a woman. There's a term for that. It's bisexual.
Alright guys, so you can like femboys and not be gay. You can be straight, hear me out, okay? As a guy, you're programmed to like anything that looks, breedable. So that's why when you're driving on the highway and you see a curvaceous rock formation, you feel some sort of way. It's not like you're attracted to the rock.
Okay, if there's anybody that has seen curvaceous rock formations while driving, does that turn you on? I'm sorry, but like going to the argument that, oh, well, anything that looks breedable, like, has you feeling some type of way. Like, if I see a curvy rock, I might be like, damn, that rock is thick. But I'm not thinking like, oh, I want to smash that rock and I'm turned on now. Like, that's not an excuse. You're bi, bro. You're bi. I'm so sorry.
If you put me in a room with a femboy and a torta, and the only way for me to get out of this room is to crack one of them, you best believe I'm dicking that femboy down. Oh, but cracking a femboy is gay. Listen, buddy, in this scenario, I feel like it would be more straight of me to crack a femboy than I'm more inclined to be attracted.
That's not what these terms mean. You can't sit here and be like, I'm gonna crack a boy, a guy, a man, whatever you want to call them, but because I'm more attracted to them, because they present as feminine, that still makes me straight. No, a real, genuine, heterosexual straight man is going to pick a biological woman over a man any day of the week. It doesn't matter if this biological woman has a buzz cut, never wears makeup, and always has a scowl and dresses in hoodies and sweatpants 24/7. If you're truly straight, you're going to pick the woman.
For me, I feel like as long as I am not interacting directly with his man stick, I will not be considered gay in that scenario.
It's so funny he says that because there are even men who are attracted to men that top, right? And will say, oh, well, I'm the top. I'm not touching his pogo stick. So because of that, that means that I'm not gay or not as gay as the guy who is receiving in this situation. It's mental gymnastics to, you know, kind of quell your internalized homophobia.
Would it be gay to find femboys attractive? I'm gonna go ahead and say no, it ain't, because you're attracted to the femininity. And like I've said before, a lot of them look more like women than a lot of women do. And obviously
oh my God. That is something that you would only ever hear a man say. What does that really mean when you say a femboy looks more like a woman than an actual woman does? That is literally you basing your idea of femininity off of stereotypes and what the media and what society says is feminine. It doesn't matter if a biological woman doesn't quote unquote look like a real woman. She's actually a woman versus somebody who's literally playing dress up.
a man's biology, we're naturally attracted to the curves, right? And I won't lie, quite a few of them do have the figures and the bodies. It's strange. Like they really do it well. Now sleeping with them is different because then that's gay. But then we can argue that because really and truly it would just be putting in butt. So if that's gay, then we can ask another question. Would it be gay to put it in girl butt? Because what's the difference between guy butt and girl butt? There is none.
All right, to answer his question, if you're doing it with a man, that's not heterosexual. It's the kind of the thing where people have the discussions of, oh, if a guy gets strapped by a woman, does that make him gay? No, it doesn't. He's doing it with a woman. It's technically a heterosexual operation that's going on. But some people think that certain parts of a man that are being stimulated, that makes it gay. So before we move on to some people talking about why they believe so many of these straight men love femboys, I found some really funny skits of people parodying how these straight men sound when they try to convince us that what they're doing is still heterosexual.
Oh my god, I love femboys so much. Like, I wouldn't want them to crush me with their thighs. But I'm not gay. Never gay. I'm a straight man. I like women. I date women. Women are always on my mind. But femboys. It wouldn't be gay for me to date a femboy, right? Like, they're basically women. Every time me and my girlfriend gets into an argument, I would always go on Twitter, search up femboys, and you know what happens next. Like, oh my god, I would kiss a femboy. I would make out with a femboy. But I'm not gay.
I am a straight man. I love women. I devour coochie. You claim to be a straight man. That over there is what we call a femboy, right? It is a man cosplaying and dressing up as a woman. You think that liking femboys doesn't make you a gay man, and that's perfectly true. Because it makes you at most bisexual, which is perfectly fine. I'm not judging you. I don't think most people would really give a what you do with your own, spare time. But to say that you are straight and you like femboys and routinely engage in romantic relationships with them does not make sense. I'm straight. That's a girl. That's a girl. It's not a guy. Man, that's a girl. I don't care. It's dressed like call me one right now.
I love how that whole time he was fake listening and just getting ready so he could literally jump into his tirade of I'm still straight. But the other thing is I'm going through comment sections, right? And I'm seeing so many men who are saying, oh, I'm straight, but I love femboys, or like, I'm straight, but I'm looking for some femboys to smash. And it's like, does straight in 2026 mean something different than it meant in 2019? Are we officially in a different timeline to where straight now just applies to if you are attracted to anything that presents as feminine? Okay, now I want to look at some videos of people talking about why they believe so many straight men are obsessed with femboys. And we're going to hear it right from a femboy himself.
Men are so obsessed with femboys, especially straight men, and let's discuss why. There are many known rappers, let's say, politicians, high-powered businessmen, very wealthy, top-of-the-line straight men as they project in society, right? But they are known for liking composite DJ femboys or also trans women. And we might say, why? Think about it. They are super high-powered. They have a lot of money, and that means they have access to basically anything or anyone they want in terms of a sexual commodity. What's the one thing that starts to get taboo, that starts blurring the lines around straightness? Femboys. They can have any cis woman they want as a cis straight man, but when they have all that money, they want to start trying the flavors of the taboo. But they don't want to go all the way, you know, mass for mass, because they're like, oh, I'm not gay. That's too much. That brings too much into question for them. Men, especially DL men, use femboys as a way to dip into the gay pond, right? It's a more safer gateway because it's seen as more accepted with straight men, right? Let me give you a crazy example. So I matched with a guy once off of Hinge. He ended up telling me he was actually in a 3-year committed relationship with a woman, and he told me that he couldn't have sex with her and he would off to my Instagram next to her while she's sleeping in bed. Sick behavior. Then the last obsession is when straight men try to act cool nowadays, or like performative, by saying, yeah, I would have anything feminine, I would have sex with a femboy, but I'm straight.
I found a woman talking about why she believes there are straight men that are obsessed with femboys. It's not so much to do with taboo like the femboy said, but because of things like power, domination, and even incel culture that leads to something called transmaxing.
How much longer are we supposed to ignore the fact that the whole phenomena that is around femboys and the obsession that straight men have with them is because straight men like the power dynamic that they get with a standard hetero relationship, but they hate women, so they have to find it elsewhere. There are a lot of young femboys who over-sexualize themselves. You'll see it in the gaming community. They're streamers. Their whole account is about them being femboys, and you know who you find in their comments? Grown-ass men. First of all, you guys have to learn about incels. Incels are a community of mostly men who identify as being involuntarily celibate because women don't want them, and they hate women because they feel like women are taking away a God-given right that they have of having sex. Anyways, when you learn about the incel community, you learn about all the ways that they cope with being incels, and one of them is transmaxing. Transmaxing is when these men decide that since life is so hard being a man because they're so undesirable, since they have all these traits that are not sought out for, and they believe that women, no matter what they look like, will be loved and desired by some man, they decide to transition into women. I put quotes on transition because they're not actually transitioning. They're not a person who was born one way and wants to live or transition to another gender to experience it in a mental, emotional, psychological state. They just believe that it will gain them access to the ease of life that women have. Anyways, back to transmaxing. Because they feel like they're not good at being masculine and they think it's easier to be a woman, they take what they have, they lean more into those traits that are not desired by women, whether it's short height, petite body, low muscle mass, whatever it is, they lean into it. Those higher incels will do as much as they can to groom the more insecure incels into transitioning over into either a woman or a really feminine boy. Because you know what they've started to realize? When men hate women, sexuality does not matter, which is why we have so many men who are with women on the inside and hate them. Which is why you'll find a married man with 7 grown-ass kids and a femboy who is barely legals DMs.
The last video we're going to watch is from one of the most popular femboys on TikTok. And he's going to explain why all of this is just something that really exists on the internet and not really in real life.
Men don't actually want femboys in real life. said it. Every time a man has come up to me thinking I'm a woman and hitting on me, they run away as soon as they hear my voice. I've only had one guy who was like, I don't care. Where are all the Femboy lovers at? I thought we were all cracking Femboys this summer. You guys are fakes and foes.
Honestly, I'm really not all that surprised to hear that this is more so of an internet invention that you actually will not see in real life. How many times have we seen something that seems so real because the internet can't stop talking about it? So yeah, guys, that's all I have for you for today's video. Let me know what you think about this topic. This was really crazy to see because usually when it comes to things like this, you're not gonna have men coming out and basically making themselves look gay in the eyes of many people just for attention and engagement online. The fact that there were so many men coming out saying, I'm straight, but I love femboys, that was flabbergasting to me. So you guys let me know what you think about this video and this topic, and thank you so much for watching, and I will catch y'all in the next one.